Hi everyone, today is February 3rd, 2019 in Zone 6B. I am going to do some winter sowing. I did winter sowing last year and I would say I had moderate success with it. It's a great way of starting your seeds early. Actually, I was never a seed starter before this, but this is a pretty easy process enough that I'm going to follow it going forward. So to do winter sowing, um, I know there is a website. I will provide the link to it. Wintersowing.org, I think that's the one. So that has all that information, but I'm just going to show you how I do it. So last year I tried both the translucent milk bottles as well as the opaque ones. The opaque ones did not work for me, so this year I'm sticking to the translucent ones. So you start out by making holes on the top of the milk bottles um, and on the bottom. So I have set aside a steel skewer for this purpose. So I just heat it on the stove and then poke holes on it. Um, we do have to cut the bottles like this, and I use an X-Acto knife. I know with these smaller bottles you can cut it taller because the handle is up here. With the what is that? This size bottles, you will have to cut them here. I mean, actually, I know you can cut it a little bit up. I think I tried with one of those, but they don't bend open that much. But what you're supposed to do is leave this portion uncut, so it hinges open and shut. So let's get going. Start from here and then go all around. So I just cut this one open. Let me see if you can see the holes out here on the back. Maybe if I show you like this. The holes on the top and the holes on the bottom. So again, how many holes do you put in there? I don't know. Last year I tried 4 or 5. Like I would say 5 on the top and 5 on the bottom. Some of my bottles were kind of waterlogged. So this year I decided to go and put quite a bit. I guess I might have definitely 10 or more on both sides. So to start off, we need potting mix. Oh, one more thing I learned from last year. So I am sowing, today I'm sowing perennials. That's what you start early. Annuals you start late, around March in my time zone, or April even. So the for perennials, like this is lupine, people pronounce it different ways. So these have a taproot and they do not like transplanted. So the easiest way to do these, I know people do it by a chunk of seedlings, hunk of seedlings, where they put this, they sow it directly in this one, and then they split the seedlings as hunks when they, grow, and then plant it. It did not. It worked well for me for some type of seedlings, but not with these. This poppies or anything that has a big taproot and do not like being transplanted, I basically do it like this. I use peat pots. So this has been like very, very easy for me. So I put about 3 peat pots in one bottle. So, and then I fill the mud in there, in the peat pots. So then once they grow, I just take the peat pot and plant the peat pot directly in the soil. That actually has given me more success with the lupines, I know, but actually poppies, I sowed a ton last year. In the end, I tried this method and I was able to get one poppy seedling. I think for foxgloves and delphiniums too, this is kind of applicable where the taproot is pretty long and they don't like being transplanted. So using the peat pots actually helped me quite a bit. So I did put potting soil on the peat pots like this. And after that, you need to water. I did not put the seeds in yet. So we just get the pots watered so that all the soil is kind of wet. And any excess water will drain off. So we will let the water drain. While we wait for that, I do have one that already watered and the water is kind of drained. So this is the smaller milk bottle. Like I said, it's taller. you can I think there is more room for the taproots to go in here. So for this I don't use peat pots because I cut the bottle at a higher height. So it's directly, the soil is directly in the bottle. So I take the lupine seeds, I think these are Russell hybrid mixed lupines. So the seeds are pretty big, so I take one by one, and I think I can put about 4 or 5 in here, maybe, because they look good when they grow together. So even if everything germinates, I don't know how many will germinate, so actually we'll put maybe 6 or 7 in there. I'm just going to plant this as a big hunk. So I just press it down lightly, and I just sprinkle some potting soil on top of it. That's it. Since I have the seeds in my hand, let me do another pot too. Actually, I think, no, the water did not drain in it. This is another smaller one that I have. Again, let me see if I can finish the lupines in here. Put these maybe. Last year I had like maybe 1 or 2 lupines come up, but they are biennial, so hopefully they'll flower this year. So this one, I think I'm done. I will put the potting soil once I'm done with this too. So this also, I think I'm just gonna scatter it out. So that's it. Let me see. I'm not using gloves with this because I know with seeds I don't know, I think I can feel them better. So once you have them like this, you need to duct tape them. So what I generally do is this, actually the smaller bottles I think should be okay, but the bigger ones, if you have help, it's going to be a lot easier. It doesn't have to be perfect. All we're trying to do is trying to create a greenhouse. So just go around, and then so once in spring, once these seedlings sprout, and the daytime temperatures start getting hotter, we can now open these bottles up and let them, get used to the weather, and then in the night we can close the lids off. Oh, my hands are dirty. Anyway, so this is how you tape them. Let me cut it off. So once I tape it, I write the name and the date. So lupine, and then it's on February 3rd, 19. So I mean, I know a lot of people actually put a marker inside because this usually gets erased in the rain and snow, but it's okay if it gets erased because I know how the lupine seedlings look like. If you are very particular and you don't know how the seedlings will look, you can write and put a marker inside. I know people, I think, cut strips of these and then or the popsicle sticks, I think they write on that and keep it inside. But this is good. So let me do one more. So did I do the lupines in here? I think I did. So I'll just tape this one too. So this is a bit harder. It is. I just try to. It doesn't have to be perfect, so I am going to label them too. But before that, I want to show you a couple more that I did. So this is another columbine, which I did not use peat pots. Columbines are fine. So again, actually this is my first time winter sowing columbine, so let's see how it is. Poppies also have a strong taproot, like I said, so I use the peat pots for the poppies. We can use this type of cans too. And these are actually easier because you don't need to duct tape them. So again, these since they're pretty tall, you can use them for poppies or anything with deep taproot. So this one is already, I planted poppies in here. This is the oriental poppies. So I will show you the progress of this. I think hopefully by maybe March I can see something happening in there, and I just leave them outside on my I think either the basement, the steps that we have a walk up basement, so by the steps I put them, totally fine. If it snows, if it gets covered by the snow, all that is fine. And this actually I would, if you are scared of starting seeds, I would totally recommend this method.